Welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you with the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project and the Effortless Manifesting and Awareness Activation. So we're at Miracle 36 and we will do the Effortless Manifesting and Quantum Activation first, for which we have a new clearing that's been added on in the last few days. But I also just want to remind you this. I have just completed a 3-day workshop in which I got up at 3 a.m. in the morning for, because it was out of USA, out of America. Couldn't understand why Spirit told me to do this, except that there was, because most of the stuff they taught I already know, but there was 10,000 minimum people joined in to heal themselves firstly, to then be able to heal the people around them and then heal the world. So I want to remind you, please, that I am a powerful healer that channels light codes through my voice and transmutes your stuff back to oneness through you just listening to me. I've been a transmuter of darkness since I was born, I think, but aware of it for at least the last 40 years. Please just remember to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, and especially if something's coming up. And I'm mentioning all of this at the start of this activation because I can tell that my energy is pumping everywhere from these 3 days that I've spent with 10,000 plus beautiful healers all over the world. So let's begin by just taking a long, slow, deep breath in and letting the breath out through the mouth and letting go of everything outside this moment. Big belly breath in. Hold it for as long as it's comfortable. I'm breathing out everything that's outside this current moment in time. Let's do this several times. And when you feel comfortably connected to your... Of course, the kid came along and started his bike just as we started, but never mind. As soon as you feel suitably connected to within you, when these things happen like that, they're just signs about how powerful the energy that's coming when outside influences are trying to stop it happening. If you get to know that, if you get to not react to your outside circumstances and hold your frequency of light when stuff is happening outside of you, you will transmute it and transcend into a higher level just like that. So when you're ready, return your breath to breathing in through the nose and out through the nose while we do our awareness activation for today. And if you need to let go of anything, burp, yawn, sneeze, fart, do all of that. But once it's done, to release whatever energy is coming up for you, return to in through the nose and out through the nose. And remember, if you're getting agitated or frustrated with how much I chat, that is the energy healing whatever it is in you, and just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose until you yawn or burp or whatever. Sometimes if you just stay consistently breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, it will transmute it before it has a chance to have you become agitated. You're only becoming agitated because you're not fully present in this moment. Alrighty. So please bring your awareness into your body, your beautiful, beautiful body, otherwise known as your temple that houses your soul, your spirit, the most magnificent part of who you are. And all of the stories you have about your body, height, weight, shape, hair color, skin color, eyes color, and all of your aches and pains and gripes, all of the stuff that you have going on in your body, toss it all out the window or out the door into another room and breathe. Remembering this is a quickie activation, and if it doesn't make sense because you've just landed here today, please go back to the very original effortless manifesting and awareness activation that does not have the 100 miracles in it, and listen to that, and then all of this will make sense to you. So next we want to bring our awareness into our identity. Everything that says this is you, your name, address, phone number, date of birth, occupation, kids, cats, dogs, pets, family, type of car you drive, the house you live in, all of that stuff that identifies you as you and not the extraordinary being of light you really are. Toss it all out the window or out the door and breathe. See if you can sense how much lighter you feel without it. I have to tell you that just in that moment, I said to God, can you please shut that bloody bike up so that we can just until we get this activation done. And it just started to rain. God, see, that's what happens when you're connected to your source being. You can have instant manifestation with the whole entire universe. So, hasn't quite shut him up, but it slowed him down for a bit. So, breathing in now, bring your awareness into your feelings, your emotions, and your opinions, and toss all those out the window. Breathe and see if you can sense or notice how much lighter you feel. And now, bringing your awareness into your thoughts, your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and your subconscious mind, and toss that out the window as well, or out the door into another room, and just breathe. And if you haven't guessed already, what we're doing is peeling back the layers that are blocking your divine I Am presence, your soul light from shining through, and just giving it a chance to heal your body, to heal your life. Now, please, just notice. And if you can't feel anything, don't go, I can't feel anything. Shift that to what can I feel? Because that's the ego's way of blocking your soul light. I can't feel anything because you're so damn powerful, you won't feel anything. But change that statement to what can I feel? See if you can notice that magnificent soul of yours healing those knee aches, back aches, headaches, hip pain, back pain, whatever it is. Breathe. And bring your awareness now into your beautiful, beautiful heart. Gorgeous, gorgeous heart. And I want you to seek and find, gather and bind all of your heartache and all of your heartbreak. And then also the heart wall We all put a wall around our heart hoping that it'll stop the pain getting in, but it stops the love getting out. So you want to take all of your heartache and all of your heartbreak and the heart wall, toss them out the window, out the door, and just breathe. See if you can sense the unconditional love pouring up from deep within your beautiful, magnificent heart and beginning to flow out into your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres. And just breathe. Just breathe. And now bring your awareness into your being and locate anything and everything that is stopping and blocking the infinite wealth and infinite abundance that exists in every one of those 100 trillion cells. So all lack, limitation, all poverty consciousness, all scarcity and struggle, toss it all out the window into another room and just breathe. And just remember, you can pause the recording if you feel like, oh, I need more than this because it is a quickie. Just pause the recording and just keep throwing more levels of, lack of abundance, if that's what your issue is, or throwing more emotions and feelings and opinions out the window if you need to. The reason we're moving through this rather quickly is because this is day 36, so we have been doing this for quite some time. And for those of you who have been showing up daily, we don't want to bore you to tears, but if you just happen to have landed here on this day, then you can just pause it and just continue breathing until it clears for you. All right. So the next biggie we uncovered last week, which was all of the shame and all of the blame and all of the pain and all of the suffering. Seek and find, gather and bind. All shame, all blame, all pain and all suffering, and toss that out the window or toss it out the door and breathe. If you're blaming anyone, especially someone from your past, then you are in shame. There is shame in there somewhere that needs to come up and come out. Another thing that you could do is you could just sit when you finish here, if you notice something particularly triggers you, and just invite that shame or that blame or whatever just to come up. And as it comes up, just breathe into it. As you consciously allow it to come up, instead of trying to stuff it back down in your big toe or your bum or wherever you hide it, and just breathe into it and continue breathing into it. It will transmute. It will transmute back to light because the essence of who you are is pure source light. Breathe. So that's a biggie for a lot of people. All of the shame, all of the blame, all of the pain and all of the suffering that comes as a result of that shame and blame. Breathe. It is not who you are. You're an infinitely powerful, abundant being of light. You always have been, you always will be. It's just buried underneath all the stuff we cut around with us. Breathe. And now, this is a new one for you, and a very, very powerful one. We want to seek and find, gather and bind all of the fear, all of the anger, and all of the rage you have buried within you. And toss that out the window or out the door too, and breathe. Seek and find, gather and bind from head to toe, skin to bone, all of the fear you've stashed in your body, all of the pain, all of the fear, all of the anger, and all of the rage. And toss that out the window, out the door too, and breathe. Just breathe. And some of us don't think that we have anger or rage, but it's noticeable if you're still hanging on to something from the past. It's noticeable if you can't forgive someone for something you perceive that they did wrong to you. It's noticeable if you just, like someone cut you off in traffic and you curse at them. I used to be good at that a long time ago, not so much now. Breathe. But it's mostly noticeable when we get angry about the little things. Or if you have people that do not so pleasant things to you, they're probably just reflecting back to you the unhealed anger and rage within you, as well as the fear. Fear is that they say it's the opposite side of love. I remember when I was first learning to do spiritual work 40 odd years ago, they used to say there's really only two emotions, love and fear, and I used to think, what a load of crap, what about anger, what about this, what about that, because I didn't understand it back then. But really, all anger and rage comes from fear. All kindness and generosity comes from love. And the older and wiser you get, the more you realize that that is true. So seek and find, gather and bind all fear, all anger and all rage, and then just put that aside, out the window, out the door, and just breathe. See if you can sense some more peace, awakening within your being. And just breathe into that 99% untapped, pure potential, pure God source, your infinite God source that is connected to the God source in everything. God above, God below, Mother Earth, all the trees, birds, every other human being on planet Earth. Little hiccups, you can have them as well. Little hiccups are clearing bits of past life. Just breathe. It's really thrilled when I saw that the presenter of this program I just did burped. Mind you, I give her a run for her money with the burps. They were just little tiny dainty things. When I'm working and burps are coming up, they usually lift the roof off the house. So breathe. Just breathe. Breathe into all of that magnificence that is connected to all time and space, all dimensions of light, all universes, galaxies, star systems. This is you. This is your pure God source underneath the 1% ego mind. It runs. 99% of your energy goes into that 1% ego. Imagine what your life might look like if you were able to connect into this 99% pure God source that you truly are for 20 minutes minimum a day. Or if you checked in on the hour to make sure that you were still connected to this. If you could spend a whole day or 2 or 10 or 20 or 30 connected to this pure God source, what might show up in your life instead of all the crap that keeps on turning up in your life? Breathe. And I usually pick my miracles before I come on. The Spirit said, you will know when you get to the miracle part what you're going to talk about. And I have nothing there to share except about what just happened. The 10,000 plus healers had over 30,000 people sign up for it. So all those people would be receiving that energy. But I think, you know, most of those things, when they're just a few dollars, lots of people sign up and they never show up. But the love that was generated by 10,000 people wanting to connect to the greatest part of who they are, to their soul light, and to heal themselves first, and then heal their families, and then heal the world around them through simply shining their light, was extraordinary. I couldn't work out why Source had me do this, but they've been asking me to do something similar this year, but on a more advanced level. They're really just starting at the kind of basic level of connecting to your soul and using protection and stuff that we've done for, you know, at least 25, 26 years, but, you know, 40 years of hands-on healing and stuff. So, and they teach people to be hands-on healers or whatever, or to activate their healing gifts. But I think the miracle for today is the extraordinary love that was generated by 10,000 people showing up and connecting to the infinite abundance of love, joy, peace, money, bliss that exists within them, so that that light magnifies out beyond them into their families, into their communities. And can you imagine that if enough of us truly return to the light of who we are, what could happen on earth, what is possible on earth? And this is what, when people are talking about Mother Earth ascending, a lot of people have got it wrong, and they're talking about leaving their bodies or waiting for a spaceship to come get them. But that's not what is truly happening. What is happening, and it was said in the Bible, Jesus said in the Bible, this and more you shall also do. And he was referring to this time on earth when everybody would wake up and remember themselves as, they say, as sons and daughters of God. But I think that should really say that they're sons and daughters of God, that you are God, that you'll remember yourself as a son and daughter, as a God, as a son and daughter, God, goddess. Because if you look at all the good stuff that Jesus did, that Buddha did, Krishna did, they're just one being. Imagine if all of us human beings remembered the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, the Krishna consciousness within us. What we would be capable of, how we could transform our world, transform our lives of everyone around us, and the lives of all beings on earth. Imagine if we can collapse the old timelines of poverty and lack and limitation and war and suffering, environmental damage. And all of that is possible when each and every one of you will remember, or do remember, the magnificence of who you truly are. Part of our 100 Miracles in 100 Days project was to help channel high frequency codes into people, powerful people that are waking up, so that you can wake up and do what you came here to do. Complete your piece of the puzzle here on earth. And if you don't, stuff's happening. You know, people are having heart attacks and people are being pushed to activate their light within them. Because if you don't use it, it will not turn against you, but it's like you're this high frequency being, and then you're putting a lid on it. And because you're not using it to send out into the world as healing or to do something good with it, then that high frequency is just activating your poop even more, magnifying it even more within your body. That's why so many powerful people are not having a hot time at the moment, because more light, more frequency, more higher vibrations are coming into them, and then they're just still doing the same stuff they've done for the last 20 years. It's time to upgrade your light and to do more, to be more, to show up more for yourself, for your loved ones, and for the earth. Stop watching TV. Stop watching the news. There really is two distinct worlds happening at the moment. There is the world and the frequency of love and abundance and bliss and peace and harmony and joy for everyone. And then there's the world that you hear about on the news because they want to keep you trapped in fear and believing that you live in an unsafe place. But the truth is that if you live in these higher frequencies of light, all of that lower stuff doesn't happen. Disease doesn't exist. I'm in my 60s. I've not seen a doctor for over 25 years at least, probably more than that. I haven't seen a doctor since I left Brisbane, and even before that, probably since I came to Brisbane. And I came in the early 1990s, 1991, I think we arrived in Brisbane. So we're talking like 30 odd years that I've not seen a doctor. And if I do have something the matter with my body, I just breathe gold light into it, and it's healed in 20 minutes. But this is the great thing about that. The more you raise your frequency, the higher you raise your frequency. What do you think happens to all that low frequency, low density shit? It just can't find you. It can't reach you. So the trick is to keep raising your vibration till it dissolves the poop inside of you. But then all the shitty people who've done shitty things to you won't even be able to find you. And that's why the people outside of us, the people we sometimes blame, they are showing us, they are giving us the biggest gift to remind us of where we are not completely healed or properly healed within ourselves. And if you stop blaming them and look at the three fingers pointing back at you when you're pointing the finger of blame at them and ask, what is this teaching me? You will move through your stuff so fast, and be able to make such an extraordinary difference in the world. Breathe. Just breathe into that. Just for a moment, imagine your life as you would like it to be. So you have loving friends and loving partners. You're surrounded by like-minded friends. You're surrounded by people who respect you, people who pay you your worth. You have unlimited abundance of everything, of money, of peace, of harmony, of joy, of bliss. And just claim that for yourself if that's what you want. Bring that dream into your heart and fill it up with love and breathe it out into the world. Fill the cells of your being with what you want and not what you don't want. Because as it currently stands for most of the 8 billion people on the planet, is that our lives are filled, our days, our 1440 minutes of every day is filled up with what we don't want instead of with what we want. And one of the ways you can change that is, 1, start your day by just giving yourself 20 minutes to connect to this awareness of who you are. And then if you really want to go out, you can spend a couple of hours connecting into that awareness, just breathing and transmuting anything that comes up as you're doing it. Invite anything that's out of alignment with your soul self, your divine I am presence, to come up and breathe into it and transmute it as it's coming up. But the other way, if you're really busy, is just everyone's got a mobile phone these days, just put it on a beeper to go off every hour and then on the hour, check. Am I still in my highest I am, divine I am presence, or I'm back playing in the poo? If you're playing in the poo, just invite that energy to come up, transmute it, go back on with your whatever it is you're doing for your day, and just check every hour that you're awake. At the end of a day, or two at the latest, unless you're really stuck, but at the end of the day, you will feel an extraordinary connection to your light, to your divine I am presence, and that's where you want to stay. That should be your goal. And make sure you're grounding it in. So make sure when you, because it can get really trippy, especially with these new higher codes coming in at the moment. I've had tingling in my brain. Sometimes I wake up and my whole heart area, excuse me, my whole heart area, it's like it's vibrating. I can actually feel my heart inside my body shaking. So the immediate thing I do is go and check my pulse to make sure it's not racing and I'm not having a heart attack. I've done that several times. But it's just a nice, slow, steady, and it's just that there's so much love pouring out of my heart. It's vibrating my whole body. That's the kind of stuff that's happening. I have lots of tingling at the base of my spine. I have one toe that's grown a hole over a centimetre. My toes used to always go down in a triangle. That one toe is like a whole centimetre and a bit longer than the other one. God knows what that's about. Just breathe. And if you have weird stuff like that happen, you can just go, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. Don't run off to your doctor. And you'll find there's so many spiritual people that, I spoke to somebody who did she was my very first person who booked into my fifth dimensional spiritual healer and teacher training, over a decade ago. She goes, I've got all this lump in my throat. I've got all this lump. She went to the doctors and they couldn't find anything the matter. You speak to any spiritual person and most of them are going to tell you the same. Most of them are going to tell you the same. And they have all these ailments, they've got all this distinct pain in their liver, in their, whatever, and they go to the doctor and they do all these tests and they can't find anything the matter with them, and that's because it's energetic. It's the higher frequencies of light opening up and coming into your body and pushing the poop out, and all you have to do is breathe to get it out, and most of us are still playing small, not acknowledging the greatness of who we are, and that's what's causing it. And this high frequency coming in is just going to amplify that. It's not going to get any less. It's going to get way, way more. So you might as well just get on board and start breathing. You just have to breathe. You just have to breathe into the magnificence of who you are and give it space within your body to wake up. And your life will change for the better forever. Breathe. Breathe into the light of who you truly are. Let that love flood every one of those 100 trillion cells in your 100 trillion telomeres. Make sure occasionally you breathe one of the breaths down through your feet, activating your root system down into the core of Mother Earth, so that it's grounded here on Earth. So many spiritual people spend so much time up out of their body, they wonder why they can't manifest a damn thing. You're in a physical body on physical earth plane to learn physical lessons. And you must awaken the pure God source, pure God, Goddess source, your Goddessence as I like to call it, within your being. Breathe. And again, I just want to point out, if anyone wants to know how to do this, we have just 2 places left on our 1-year quantum goddessence program, where you have a one-on-one with me every week. And I teach you everything I know, help you awaken your soul gifts or your purpose gifts, connect you to your light, show you how to get your work out into the world. if you're interested in doing that, you can find out more about that on our website, www.elmaraseraphim.com. Fill out the contact form. And we'll have a discovery session to see if that is the right next step for you. Because you really need to be ready to deal with everything that's holding you back if you're going to work with me. Alrighty. Love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. I trust you have a fabulous day. I trust that you will connect to your light and remember why you came here. There was just 10,000 of us healers there this weekend. Can you imagine if 50% of the population remembered who they are? And the truth is we actually don't need 50% of the population. The stats show now that it just needs to be less than 10%, and I can't remember what it was, whether it's 6% or 7 or 8%. But if you just take 10% of 8 billion, we're looking at about 80 million. We just need 80 million people on earth to remember the magnificence of who we are, and we will flip that shitty energy, and everyone will be living in the fifth dimension and living in bliss and perfect harmony with one another. That's certainly why I came here, and I'm trusting that it's why you came as well. Alrighty, love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. Have a truly blessed day, and I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.